Yeah, I think about every day.
In what ways?
Like I could lose one of my dogs a day.
Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, shot and killed in Tampa.
A birthday celebration that took a turn for the worst. Now cars filled with bullet holes are at the center of an investigation to find out why famous rapper Julio Foolio, who just turned 26, was shot dead early this morning.
Where police are still looking for the person who shot and killed a rapper and hurt 3 others outside of a hotel there.
What do you think happens, or believes happens, when someone passes away?
I believe you go to heaven, or you get reborn again.
On June 23rd, 2024, Charles Jones, also known as Julio Foolio, was ready to celebrate his 26th birthday. Known for his gritty rap lyrics that vividly depicted life on the streets of Jacksonville, Foolio had garnered a substantial following. The day began with high spirits, as Foolio and his entourage gathered at an Airbnb rented specifically for the occasion.
You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Foolio made one possible critical mistake by making his location public, knowing that a $50,000 bounty was on his head.
You had 50K on your head.
Yeah.
The plan was to enjoy a pool party, taking advantage of the Florida sunshine. Videos and photos shared on social media showed Foolio and his friends enjoying themselves, capturing moments of laughter and camaraderie.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday!
Everybody got their socks, put their socks in the air, man. Okay, David. Everybody take this shit on 3, man. 1, 2, 3.
However, the celebration hit an unexpected snag. The group exceeded the occupancy limits of the Airbnb, prompting the host to ask them to leave.
After a social media post from Julio Foolio said he and his friends were kicked out of an Airbnb. They found themselves at this Holiday Inn where hotel guests like...
Undeterred, Foolio and his friends relocated to a Holiday Inn in Tampa, determined to continue the festivities. Unfortunately, this change of venue would set the stage for the tragic events that followed.
We deep as hell, 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
As the night progressed into the early hours of June 24th, the mood remained celebratory. But at approximately 4:40 a.m., the tranquil night was pierced by the sound of gunfire. Foolio was ambushed in the parking lot, where he was shot and lost his life. The scene quickly descended into chaos as bullets flew, leaving Foolio deceased and 3 others fighting for their lives. Despite the injuries, the other victims survived. The black sedan bore the brunt of the assault, its front riddled with bullet holes. Paramedics worked swiftly to tend to the survivors, but Foolio succumbed to his injuries. The immediate aftermath of the shooting saw a flurry of social media activity. His mother, Sandrika's Mays, made a heartfelt post on Instagram, expressing her grief and announcing plans for a documentary about her son's life. In her post, she included clips from Foolio's childhood and his rise into the rap industry. She emphasized that she would soon tell the real story of Foolio, addressing the complexities and realities of his life that only she knew. Sandrika's also reflected on her son's involvement in the rap feud and the street lifestyle that ultimately led to his demise. She mentioned how she consistently urged Foolio to move away from the gang conflicts and change his lifestyle. Foolio knew that she had been shot 8 times, but chose not to retaliate, hoping to set a different example for her son.
Her house got shot up. The house we were staying in, she got shot in the thigh.
Foolio's family and close friends were devastated by his passing, but knew the things he had been doing. He didn't consider himself a positive role model.
To go through what I went through, but I'm the type, I go talk to the youth though, like juvenile facilities and all that. I want to do stuff like that, like just set up right, but I wouldn't want no kid to grow up like me and go through what I had to go through, losing people, getting shot, houses getting shot up. You know what I'm saying? Hell no.
So you would tell a kid to not be like you?
Yeah. Shit, 10 out of 10.
That's real.
And many others agreed.
When you seen the news today, were you shocked?
No. Shocked for what? The nigga worked hard to get. yeah, that nigga there.
Some users speculated that Foolio's shooting incident was a result of sharing his location publicly on social media, which might have led to the ambush at the Holiday Inn, where he was celebrating his 26th birthday. There was also accusations and rumors about the possible involvement of individuals close to Foolio, including a friend who was believed to have connections with his rivals. Local police and community leaders urged for peace and a cessation of the ongoing gang feud. Following the ambush at the Holiday Inn, Tampa police swiftly began their investigation. The scene was cordoned off, and detectives worked to gather evidence and piece together the events leading up to the shooting. The feud between KTA and ATK dates back several years and has roots in personal vendettas and the broader gang culture in Jacksonville, Florida. ATK, or Ace's Top, is a gang led by Yungeenace. KTA, which stands for Kill Them All, is a gang said to be associated with Julio Foolio, although he denies being involved with the group. One of the earliest and most significant incidents of the feud was the murder of Zion Brown, Foolio's cousin, in May 2017. Zion Brown, only 18, tragically lost his life in a triple shooting on May 27, 2017, in Jacksonville, Florida. DeAndre Thomas, a 19-year-old associated with the ATK gang, was arrested and charged for the hit and 2 attempts for the shooting that also injured 2 girls, aged 9 and 16. Some say the hit of Zion Brown was the beginning of the vicious cycle of retaliation between KTA and ATK. On June 5, 2018, near the St. John's Town Center in Jacksonville, Yungeenace, whose real name is Keontae Bullard, and his friends were ambushed as they left a birthday dinner at Wasabi Japanese Steakhouse. The assailants opened fire on their vehicle. 3 of Ace's companions.
The group was eating there Tuesday night. Wednesday afternoon, JSO released information that 2 of the victims were gang members, not naming which gang or which 2, but said one was injured, pointing to Ace as the one suspected of gang activity.
Yungeenace was shot 8 times, but survived. The cycle of retribution might have ended there, but it would only get worse. Next, Corbin Johnson, an 18-year-old from Jacksonville, Florida, went missing on July 11, 2018, and his skeletal remains were discovered 1 year later in a wooded area of northwest Jacksonville. The remains were found wrapped in a plastic bag, about 12 miles from where he was last seen. The discovery of Corbin's remains intensified tension within the Jacksonville rap scene, especially after Julio Foolio referenced Corbin in his diss track, Ops Part 2. In the song, Foolio directly mentioned Corbin, stating, "Corbin got, they found his bones, he was rotten." This fueled rumors and speculation about Foolio's potential involvement, or at least his intimate knowledge of the crime. In February 2019, Julio Foolio's younger brother, Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby, was also killed in a shooting at an apartment complex. Bibby was just 16 years old at the time of his passing. Queso, who was affiliated with yungeenace and ATK, was eventually arrested and charged for the hit of both Lil Buck and Bibby, after his own father provided critical testimony against his son, identifying Queso as the shooter. The situation between the two gangs continued escalating, and in 2019, another mass shooting occurred outside the Paradise Gentlemen's Club, resulting in the passing of KTA rapper Willie Addison, also known as Boss Goon. Throughout 2020, multiple attempts were made on the lives of key members of both gangs. Charles Quentin McCormick Jr., a KTA rapper known as Lil Buck, lost his life January 2020. The shooting occurred in broad daylight in Jacksonville, Florida, and was witnessed by an off-duty police officer who pursued the suspects until they crashed their car and fled on foot. The suspects then committed a home invasion to evade capture, changing clothes before being picked up by an accomplice in a different vehicle. Fueling the beef between the two gangs, in March 2021, yungeenace, along with 3 other rappers, released the diss track, Who I Smoke. This track, which samples Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles, quickly went viral. The names the rappers mentioned were all Jacksonville rappers and gang members who had lost their lives in the feud, and nearly all of them had close ties to Foolio. The song is borderline incriminating, as the 4 rappers featured on the song all but admit their involvement in the murders. There's also a section of Who I Smoke that references someone they intended to, surviving and going live.
Nigga, I know niggas mad I ain't Niggas mad I ain't no gay. What you talking about? Niggas, yeah.
Some speculate that this was a reference to one or more of the times Foolio was shot and went live afterward, with KTA promising in the song to keep trying till they succeed. Julio Foolio's response to yungeenace's provocative track, Who I Smoke, came in the form of When I See You, a diss track that remixes Fantasia's R&B song. The music video features Foolio at a gravesite, holding up a poster of yungeenace's deceased brother and friends, directly mocking his rivals. The release of When I See You quickly went viral, amassing nearly 1 million views within 24 hours. Foolio had been shot multiple times through the years, even before the vicious cycle of retribution began.
Boys from that hood actually that morning, and they thought I had something to do with it. And he getting on the school bus. So when I was on the way to school, when I got there, everybody was like, "Bro, they say you had something to do with such and such, bro. We know you had something to do with it, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, hell nah, I was on the way to school, which I was. I'm on the way to school.
After the feud between ATK and KTA started, the attempts on Foolio's life became more frequent. In July 2020, when Foolio was leaving a recording studio in Houston, Texas,
to go get a vape from the stove. So I hopped in the car, and I guess I got ambushed. Somebody was waiting on me when I pulled out the driveway and shit. And I saw the car, I saw a little glimpse of the car. But by the time I got to the stop sign, they hopped out and went to shooting and shit. They shot the car. Then I just went to hitting. I went to driving type shit.
He was ambushed and shot. Foolio survived the attack and took to social media to address the incident.
Bitch nigga shot me, but they ain't kill me. On Kendrick. You fucking stupid.
The next year, Foolio was involved in yet another shooting. On November 8th, 2021, Foolio was shot at shortly after exiting his vehicle in the 2000 block of Ernest Street in Jacksonville's Riverside neighborhood. Foolio claimed that his assailants fired over 100 shots but failed to do more than graze him.
At the popular Jacksonville drill rapper Charles Jones, who performs under the name Foolio, was shot in the foot.
In October 2023, Julio Foolio was once again shot in the foot while driving through a residential neighborhood near Paxton School for Advanced Studies in Jacksonville, Florida.
I wanted to go get a from the stove, so I hopped in the car, and I guess I got ambushed. Somebody was waiting on me when I pulled out the driveway and shit, and I saw the car, like I saw a little glimpse of the car, but by the time I got to the stop sign, they hopped out and went to shooting and shit. They shot the car. Then I just went to hit, and I went to driving type shit.
This prompted him to release a combination of music videos entitled Get Back, Recovery. Some hoped this would be a turning point for Foolio, but he seemed unchanged.
Is this a wake-up call for you?
I ain't gonna count. This shit happen like often. Like I ain't new to this shit, so I ain't gonna say it's a wake-up call, but it definitely like showing me I don't need to be in Jacksonville like that no more. I don't need to be chilling down there no more. I need to I got a whole house out of town, big ass house. I don't need to be at my.
On the same day as Foolio's passing, yungeenace released a diss track titled Do It. The timing of the release added fuel to the speculation about Ace's possible involvement in Foolio's death. The track's lyrics were aggressive, making references many interpreted as celebrating Foolio's demise. In Do It, yungeenace raps about orchestrating hits and taking out his rivals, which seemed particularly poignant in the context of Foolio's recent passing. This was followed by the release of yungeenace's new diss track, Game Over, 4 days later. The track's content was aggressive, directly referencing the feud and mocking the recent events surrounding Foolio's untimely passing. Lines such as, 4 in the car and one of them 3 got hit, were highlighted by listeners and critics alike, especially given the ongoing investigation into Foolio's hit. The release of both diss tracks may also have potential legal implications. Given the timing and content, law enforcement officials are likely to scrutinize the track for any information that can aid in the investigation into Foolio's hit. Legal experts note that while using rap lyrics as evidence is controversial, the specific details and timing of such releases could provide valuable insight into the motives and actions of those involved. While the police claim they are working hard to investigate and that they won't tolerate any retribution,
I've never seen so much devaluing of human life. You know, it's like it's fun, and they talk about it in rap videos and songs, and it just doesn't make any sense.
yungeenace insists the police in their area have actually encouraged the beef between them. But the cycle of retaliation may have already continued. Days after the passing of Foolio, a member of 1200, known as ATK Fizzle, was killed. This cycle is only expected to continue as law enforcement officials have failed to put a stop to the ongoing feud. While many are saddened by the passing of Foolio, many people feel like he caused it on himself due to the lifestyle that he lived. One can only wonder what he could have made of his life if he had only adhered to the many attempts on his life and made a change for the better. There's no doubt that he was a talented rapper, but he is yet another rapper that got caught up in the cycle of the streets. Only time will tell if any arrests will be made.
Julio Foolio, whose real name is Charles Jones, was confirmed at the scene while 3 other shooting victims were taken to the hospital. No one has been arrested in connection to this shooting.
Julio Foolio left behind his girlfriend, Manny, as well as his loving mother, Cendricus Mays.
In the event you do pass away, what do you want to be remembered for?
As a funny, good-hearted young man who loved his people, loyal to his people.
Rest in peace, Julio Foolio.